We're hanging out with comedian Nic Novicki, and Nick is featured, you mentioned, in the most recent SpiderMan iteration.
Yes, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
And you play?
Lego Spider-Man.
Wow. And have they had a lot of conventions yet about this, or are you going to be?
So it is kind of crazy. I've been to Comic-Con, and I've gotten in some crazy scenarios. I actually got into a fight with Superman.
Oh no.
The real Superman, not like a homeless guy in a Superman outfit. It was, I'm hanging out. We're at a bar, and I'm having a drink, and I'm with my wife, and this giant guy keeps elbowing me, bumping into me. And I'm like, what the heck? And, he hits me again, and my drink spills. So now I just elbow him back. I'm like, I'm going to elbow him back. I'm sure, people are looking around like, did this little guy just nail this giant guy? And he turns around. He goes, oh, sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. And I go, yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Just watch where you're going. He tries to give me a dab. And I kind of backed away. And my wife was like, what do you do? That was Henry Cavill. He played Superman. Superman tried to make peace, and you just blew him off. So basically, I'm his nemesis.
Now, we have a number of things we have to get to. But first, I want to talk a little bit about you are behind a very special movie program, the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge, which is really cool. And can you give us the quick how you got into it thing?
Sure. So I've been very lucky in my career. I've been in over 40 TV shows and movies. I got the chance to work with Martin Scorsese, the Farley brothers. But the majority of my work has been self-driven, with me writing, producing, and creating my own stuff, because I'm 3'10", So I was like, look, if I want to be a gangster or the romantic lead, I got to do it myself. And I looked around. I was like, why aren't more people with disabilities doing this? Where 1 in 4 Americans identify as having a disability. So I created the Disability Film Challenge to help other people with disabilities get more involved in the entertainment industry. And it's grown dramatically. I partnered with Easterseals Southern California. Easterseals is a national disability services organization that's been around for 100 years. And to date, we've had over 600 films that have been created from around the world.
Wow.
And this year we had 115 films. And tonight at the Heartland Film Festival, we are going to screen the finalists and winners from our 10th anniversary of the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge.
Cool.
That's
so if someone is dealing with a disability and they want to get into this, how do they go about starting it? Is there a website you can go to for information? Or?
Yeah, so if you go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com or at Disability Film Challenge, you can find that from my handles, which is at Nic Novicki. You can learn about how you get involved. So you have to register. We'll open registrations in January. And then what it is a 5-day filmmaking competition. So each year there's a different genre. This year the genre was romance, because we wanted to really show cool different examples of how disability can come, and the comedy involved in it, and just all the different authentic representation, because that's really what this is about. We've had people of all different disabilities, beyond little people with invisible disabilities, whether it's Down syndrome or autism, or you're blind or you're deaf. It's us telling our stories and being able to, make things funny, but from a different point of view that hasn't been seen.
Yeah, from your point of view.
Yeah, from our point of view. And the coolest thing about it, too, is you don't have to have a disability to get involved. You just need one person in front of or behind the camera. So it's about, working together and the future jobs. So you can learn about the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge. If you go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com, you can see past films. And ultimately, it's just about taking your career in your own hands and getting these jobs. And, it's the opportunities that come from it.
You developed this 10 years ago. You're a man small of stature.
Yes.
3'10".
That's right.
How tall is your wife?
She is 4 feet, so I get her to do a little bit more of the reaching in the apartment for us.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
She can hold that over you, literally.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, that's nice. And did you have an interesting romance? Anything about that would be unusual or fun to talk about?
Actually, it is an interesting. So when we met, she, at the time, now she works in development, TV development, but she was an actor at the time, and she was at this Little People convention, and she was trying to learn about acting and all this stuff, and she was leaving. She was about to leave and never come back. to a Little People convention. And on her way out, she met my buddy, and she was like, yeah, I'm leaving. It's just not working out. I haven't met, actors. And my buddy goes, well, you got to meet Nick. He's, on all these TV shows. And so we started meeting. And, literally, if I hadn't been in the lobby of that hotel at that time, or if I hadn't walked in, a minute later, we never would have met. And, so it was kind of crazy. And even crazier story is this ends up in the end credits of the movie Marry Me with Jennifer Lopez. We told that story in that movie. So if you watch the end credits, you'll hear it again.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Not to offend.
Yeah.
I just, out of curiosity, is there a sort of a landing spot when it comes to clothing that is, because obviously you don't want to be wearing garanimals around. I mean, you want to be adult.
No.
Small.
No. So, I'll be honest. It's awesome. I get to shop for kids' clothes. I'm a boys large. So if anyone wants to send me some clothes, I'm a cheap date. But also, it's been amazing because I tour all over the world. And now I've done USO tours and all these different things. And so in other countries, I get suits made. So I have all kinds of custom clothes. And,
Hell yeah.
So, I get also anytime I'm in a TV or a movie and they're doing wardrobe fitted for me, I'm like, you are not going to let somebody else use this. There is nobody else that is going to take this. So I want it. So I get all these outfits. So, my wardrobe, my wife is getting pretty mad that the closet is almost getting bigger than her side.
I mean, I was just wondering if there was like a go-to store designed, for and about folks that are small of stature.
There are actually Little People designers. And so.
Of course. I just wondering if there was like a name brand that.
There isn't, but I just get, Zara Kids. Shout out to Zara Kids. You can send me free things for this plug, but I am a fan. They have great clothes.
I mean, you've been working a lot with Nate Bargatze. That's going well?
Yeah. It's awesome. And it's been amazing to see him, blow up. And, we've been friends forever. And so getting to tour around the country with him has really been incredible. I performed in front of 5,000 people in Hershey. And I'll be honest, I was nervous. Not about performing in front of all those people. I was nervous about performing in a city who's identifies as a chocolate factory.
and we should point out.
I was just walking around paranoid.
They might not ever see him again.
Yeah, we should point out.
They're going to put him to work.
I'm a little person. And, when you're in Hershey, you got to make sure,
I said this.
I'm a comedian.
When I first met you, there's no way this is going to come off not the wrong way. So I will say in advance, I think you're hilarious, and I really enjoyed meeting you. That's why we wanted you back. And I mentioned this the first time I saw you, but don't take it. You look like a miniature John Lennon.
I'll take it.
I mean,
hey, I'll take his royalties.
Birthday's today, John.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, very handsome, nice hair. You could do a nice Beatle haircut if you wanted to. But you're a small guy. How tall are you?
So I'm 3'10".
Wow, 3'10" dude walking around Hershey, PA. Yikes. I have never been there, but I understand you can smell the chocolate.
You can. I'll tell you what, Hershey is amazing, but definitely you could smell the chocolate and you wake up thinking, man, I think I want some chocolate.
They have Hershey Kiss street lights.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
look
I've
like-
heard.
Yeah, my grandpa used to work for them. Pop Charlie.
He did?
Uh-huh.
What did he do for him?
He was in-
Pop Charlie slept in the bed with your other 3 grandparents, right?
What?
Yeah.
It was Pop Charlie. Finally got
Pop
up
Charlie, and
Joe.
then you went out and got a golden ticket. and
He was in maintenance, but he worked
It's
there.
interesting to me that
he
in some ways,
He was an engineer.
Clean up all the
stole
chocolate.
his pockets full of chocolate.
He
when
worked on
went
the
home.
machines that make the chocolate.
Just a
remember,
thief.
like those early Bruce Springsteen songs, all the guys had nicknames.
Huh?
That's how you have Grandma VO,
Right? Pop Charlie.
Pop Charlie.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Drunken Billy. Don't forget that. Drunken Billy.
Does everybody have uncles and aunts that have weird names?
I don't know.
What did you call your grandparents?
Well, I called one Grandma,
Uh-huh.
Grandma VO behind her back, and the other one was Grandma Ruth,
Right.
and then Pop Charlie and Grandpa.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Okay. No weird names.
Nope.
Chick,
Huh?
did you ever meet your grandparents?
Yeah. You know this story. My dad's mom, I never called her grandma. Her name was Helena, so I always called her Lena when I was a kid until she passed away.
Lena?
Lena.
Oh, sweet.
Did you know she was your grandma, or was she just another lady in the room?
Where did you think I grew up?
I'm just asking a question.
Yes, I knew she was my
How
grandmother.
funny if you're 12 years old and you're like, yeah, Lena's coming over. She's like, oh, I haven't seen my mom in a while. And you're like, wait a second, that's
Wait a minute, they told me it was my sister.
I thought you just had a fun friend.
It's like Jack Nicholson's story.
Nic Novicki, did you ever meet your grandparents?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, let me point out, I
Tom never did.
never did. I did meet one of my grandfathers was alive, but he was. I remember going
Embarrassed about being
No,
related.
I could be.
Sorry.
I remember going over there, and the house smelled like death, and
Oh, gosh.
it was awful.
Oh, my God.
Well, at least it didn't imprint on you at all.
How's it going? Hey, I'd be here more, but it smells like death here. All right?
It's got to be like Fisher cigars. It's like
Holy
death in here.
hell.
What was his name? Something
Grandpa
like
Bio, right? Was
Mr.
his name?
Dead.
The Grim Reaper.
The only one I met, his name was John Kenny,
John Kenny.
and I didn't really meet. He was scary and old and half dead and smelled bad. And I
That's
just
a good
remember.
rock star name too, John Kinney. You know.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Now, did you meet your grandparents?
Oh yeah.
Now, let me ask you this:
Yes.
Were your grandparents also little people?
No, I'm the only little person in my lineage. You know, so interesting thing though is our daughter. I have a 2-year-old. We don't know if she's going to be little or tall.
I bet she's little now, huh?
She's actually 35.
She and your wife share clothes?
Yeah, exactly.
But Tom, please keep guessing about what's going on.
But you're married to a little person.
I am
correct?
married to a little
yes.
person.
Hey, Nick, real quick, I am sorry about anything that my dad says this morning. I am terribly, terribly sorry.
Oh, we're good. Come on, I love this show.
It's interesting to me now. Is again all these questions? I'm sorry in advance. Is there a test you can take, a genetic test or something, or are you just going to wait and see if she gets taller than you?
Well, look, I got a certain amount of jokes for her being little and a certain amount for her being tall. So I'm kind of hedging my bets in between. But the crazy thing is my dwarfism doesn't show up until you're 3. So we're in this place where we don't know if she's little or tall.
Oh.
So my favorite thing to do is late at night, I like just sneaking in the room and looking at her while she's sleeping all angelic. And I just go up to her and I just say, "What are you?" And I just walk away. No. I mean, look, we're going to love her either way, but it's an interesting thing. We don't know.
You know, I know that you used to live in Nashville. Now you live in Los Angeles, and assuming that I know the writer's strike is over, but the acting thing is still a mess. But when it comes back, I know you're a young actor. Do you? I mean, this sounds dumb, but presumably when you go to auditions, this would be true of anyone, whatever stripe they may be. You look around the room, and there are, in your case, 50 guys that look similar to you, presumably.
Yeah.
So do you get to know them kind of, hey,
Oh, yeah.
a little club of...
Yeah. It's, that's the beautiful thing about it. I know, so many little people that have been working forever, and we have our own little group of guys. We hang out, and we're like, oh, man, Steve's coming in. He's going to book this, in the waiting room.
Are there any inside jokes that only another little person would get that are like kind of insulting? If I said it, it would be awful.
Not really. I mean, it's just like, it's a camaraderie for it, though. It is like some of these guys have been working for so many years. And, I mean, things are changing now. And Peter Dinklage, blew it up too, with Game of Thrones. So, it's kind of just such a crazy time. I mean, I've been acting and doing stand-up for 20 years. So to see now, even to see me, I've been in 50 TV shows and movies. So when I started out, you were basically going to work in specific roles, every Christmas time. Hey, let's get we got commercials coming, and times have changed, And so
but a gig is a gig. I mean, it's great to if you wanted me to be the elf, where is the money's green?
I have a pension, So
what are some of the movies people might have seen that you're in?
I've been in recently SpiderMan Across the Spider-Verse, the new SpiderMan movie, the animated movie.
And you were in what capacity?
So I play Lego Spider-Man. So they go into the Lego world, and I'm Lego Spider-Man. And I'll be honest, it's really crazy, too, because there's so many people that are fans of that movie. People come up, and they want photos all the time. And I was taking a photo with this one guy, and he's like, hey, can we take another? I go, sure. He goes, can you get on my shoulders for this photo? I go, no. He goes, why? I go, well, a couple reasons. First of all, I'm 40, so that's the biggest reason. Second of all, I'm SAG-AFTRA, and there's a strike, so I can't do stunt work. All right.
Okay.
That's good.
Wow, that is so funny.